Hi there, so I'm just filming a quick tutorial today. I'm about to release the pattern for these mittens and I just wanted to make a tutorial on how to add these braids to the cuff. You can use this tutorial for my new pattern that I'm about to release. These are the kiss and catch mittens, or you can add this braid to any other pair of mittens or probably anything else that you want to knit. So here I have a cuff, and at this point I want to add another braid that's the same as this one that I've already done. This Latvian braid is constructed in 3 rows, so I'll just walk you through each row involved one at a time. It's very fiddly knitting in front of the camera, but for this first round I'm just going to knit one in the red, then knit one in the white. So I'm knitting my main colour and then my contrast colour, and then I'm going to repeat that. So knit one in main colour, knit one in contrast colour, knit one in main colour, knit one in contrast colour, and then I'm just going to carry this on until I get back to the beginning of round. Okay, so that first round of the 3, I'm going to call it the setup round. That's now finished. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring both strands to the front of my work as if I'm about to purl. So I'm just going to bring these strands between my needles and hold them in the front of my work. And then prepare to carry on knitting. So for this next round, the second round of the 3, once again I'm going to be working with the colours alternating, but instead of knitting I'm going to be purling. So I'm going to purl one in the red and then purl one in the white. And you want to make sure that these stitches are aligning with the stitches in the setup round. So I will be purling this first stitch, which you can see as red, with the red, and then I'm going to be purling this second stitch, which you can see as white, with the white. When you're doing this, basically we're going to be doing stranded colour work, so you can see I have these floats on the back of my work. I'm going to be, again, having these floats carried between the stitches, but I want these floats to be on the front of the work because this is what's going to result in this sort of braided pattern. This bottom row with the strands angled like this, these are the floats for this round that we're about to do. And that means that as we're doing this, we want to make sure that we're always twisting the floats to get this nice pattern. Let me show you how to do that. So I'm going to purl this first red stitch, as I said, with the red yarn. I just sort of detangle these a little. I'm just going to purl this first stitch in the red. And you can see that I've got both strands still held in front of the work. This is important. So next I'm going to purl this stitch. It's white, so I'm going to purl it with the white. And I'm just going to take the white from underneath the red here and purl. I normally knit 2-handed stranded colour work, but while I'm doing this round, I just drop the strands in between purling each stitch. I just find that's a little bit easier and I don't want to overcomplicate things. This third stitch is red. Now, what you need to make sure is that you're taking the red ready to purl the stitch from underneath. So I guess I'm twisting the strands in this direction, like this, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to take the red from underneath the white, and it has to be from underneath. And I'm just going to purl that stitch. And then next I'm going to purl this white stitch, and once again I'm going to reach underneath that red strand to grab the white and use this to purl. So you can see that this pattern is maybe just starting to form. I mean, we'll see it better in a moment. And you'll also see that these strands I have here are getting rather twisted. They're going to get really twisted as I'm working through this round. They're just going to keep on twisting. Don't try to untwist them, because when we work the third round, they'll get untwisted at that stage, and it's a lot easier than trying to untwist them as we go. So this third stitch is red, and you can see I'm just going to reach under the white to take the red strand and use that to purl. Now I want to purl in white, so I'm going to reach underneath the red to grab the white and use that to purl. And I'm going to repeat this all the way around. So reaching underneath the white to grab the red. Reaching underneath the red to grab the white, and then purling with this. And now you can really start to see we have these twisted floats on the front of the work that are forming the bottom half of this braid. I'm just going to keep on going with this until I get back to the beginning of round. And my strands of yarn here are very, very twisted together. Okay, so I'm back at the beginning of round, and you can see I've sort of already formed that first half of the braid. Now I want to add the second half of the braid, and you can kind of see how it's going to be done. Sorry if you can hear the scaffolding in the background. They're putting up scaffolding outside my house. it's just the same as the first half, but we want to be twisting these floats in the opposite direction. So once again, I'm going to go around and I'm going to purl every stitch in the round. I'm going to purl the red stitches with the red again and the white stitches with the white. But you can see the horrible tangled mess I have going on here with my yarn. I'm just going to make sure that I'm twisting these strands in the opposite direction, so I'm going to be untwisting them this time, by each time reaching over to grab the yarn that I'm about to use. So this first stitch is in red, so I'm going to reach over that white, going over, grabbing the red, bringing it over, and I'm going to use that to purl. These first few stitches are quite fiddly, just because everything is so twisted. So next, I need to purl this stitch in white, so I'm going to go over that red, grab the white from behind, I'm going to purl. It will get easier as we go. So red again, I'm going over that white, over the top, grabbing the red, and I'm going to purl. Next one is white, so I'm going to go over the top of the red, grab the white, and purl. And I'm just going to carry on doing this all the way around, back to the beginning of round. And if you are making sure that you twist it in the right direction each time, what you'll find is by the time you get back to the beginning of round, you will have fully, oh dear, you will have fully untwisted these strands. There we go. So, purling one in the red, reaching over and grabbing it. Purling one in the white, so I'm reaching over and grabbing it. All the way back to the beginning of round. Okay, so I'm just checking in for the last few stitches here. You can see this has become much easier. My yarn is no longer so twisted and tangled. And hopefully, when I finish this round, my yarn will be pretty much completely untangled. There you go, no more twisting. And you can see I've added that second braid in. With that third round complete, we're basically done. I'm just going to make sure that I take my yarn and I pass it back between my needles so that I'm holding it in the back of my work before continuing. But now you can carry on, you know, knitting, doing colour work, cats, whatever it is you're doing, and the braid is finished.